wonderful dark faces right now, but not enough to wear heels. When I was first thinking about writing this speech, I did what most of us do whenever we're faced with a new assignment: recycle some old material. So I'm going to start with a story about a time I told a story. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, on the playground okay, wrong story. It's not even about me, in case you were wondering. The real story is one I shared with my fellow Cluster 2 Dragons at C2. The story is about an eccentric Polish sculptor by the name of Korczak Ziolkowski. In the Black Hills of South Dakota, and that's a state in the US, this lavishly bearded man set out to create the largest mountain sculpture on Earth to commemorate the Lakota hero Crazy Horse. And for 3 decades, he lived at the foot of his giant rock canvas. Every single morning, he climbed up there and with carefully placed rows of dynamite, slowly chiseled out his monumental vision. You see, from the moment we're born, we all start to chisel out our own vision. First, with simple lines: family, friends, school, soccer matches, awkward dances, texting on our flip phones. Then off to college, our first job, first apartment, quarter-life crisis, and it just gets complicated. You know, kind of like the Facebook relationship some of us never really outgrew. We draw enough lines and they form the shape of our life. 2 years ago, I chose to draw a line to Wharton, alongside all of you. 858 diverse classmates who drew your lines from Thailand, Nigeria, assignments in Baghdad, and the far-flung reaches of Westchester County. Here, our lines converged on stage when we became Follies and dance studio performers. They collided on the rugby field, at the McKinsey EIS, and on the Southeast Asia Shadow Trek. They got blurred at Russian Revelry and bruised at Fight Night. They crossed one another during negotiations and that 15th walk of shame, nay, stride of pride, in Rittenhouse Square. Soon, our lines will be cast around the world, of both coasts of the United States. They'll end up in some impressive places, and some questionable places. From corner offices to first-class flights to congressional hearings, there's no telling where our lines will go. One thing we do know is what a wise man once told us: there are no poor Wharton alums. They may be in prison, but they won't be poor. A few of us might even make Oprah money. Yeah, or at least bailout money. But I am of the faith that none of us came here to draw toothpick lines. We didn't tell our family and friends that we were spending $200K just to get to know the Bonner staff real well. So the question now becomes, what lines will all of us draw next? For me, Wharton has always come back to the image of the Crazy Horse sculptor. In our deepest moments of exhaustion and self-doubt, will we have the same blinding conviction and grit to keep climbing, to keep chiseling? Wharton has armed us with immense privilege to draw bigger and bolder lines than ever before. As we look ahead from the collective endpoints of our 2 years here, we face a challenge. Do we stroke our degrees fondly, nestled comfortably in this Ivy League bubble for the rest of our lives? Or do we charge into the world brazenly to do something about as many difficult and chronic problems? Korczak Ziolkowski used his talents not to aggrandize himself or collect bragging rights for the one lady he chanced upon, who, to be fair, became his wife and mother of his 10 children. No, he dedicated his life's endeavor to drawing lines much greater than himself for a purpose much greater than himself. For my fellow HCMers, maybe you will graduate from drinking out of shot skis taped into an iron triangle to actually shattering the cost, quality, and access constraints in healthcare. Perhaps our future ventures in social impact will focus less on the social and more on the impact. And may we translate buzzwords like disrupt and revolutionary into meaningful action. Because from the local to the global, there is no shortage of canvas on which to draw our lines. My man Korczak drew his lines on a literal mountain. Now, with your Wharton degree as your chisel, ask yourself, what will be your mountain? Thank you. Congratulations.